Hello everyone and welcome to another What I Think figure review, and today we've got, well, a lot of the same figure to review, so much in fact it's difficult to get it on the camera screen, and of course today I'm going to be reviewing the Time Crash set. Now, just before I get on to reviewing the sets, I just want to say, yes, I have multiple versions of the Time Crash sets. No, these are not for sale or giveaway, and I don't care if you think I'm being greedy having so many. I have spent literally years of daily searching to try and find these. I'm very lucky to have all of these, and if you want them yourself, go out and find them. Don't expect other people to give you them just because you want them. I apologise if that sounds quite harsh, but almost every time I've ever shown these in some format, someone has always come up and said, it's a bit greedy, you've got so many, can I have one, or I want one, or sell me one, or give me one. If you want it, go and find it yourself. I had to spend years, as I said, searching for these and finding them myself, and so I'm keeping them. It's, you know, I don't care if you haven't got them. It's not my problem if you haven't got them. These are mine. Get your own. Alright? I apologise to start off the video on such a harsh note, but you'd be surprised how often that crops up. And also as well, just for the sake of asking, for the sake of mentioning it, please don't do the joke in the comments of saying, oh, can I have one of these, can I buy one, lol, just joking, because it's quite old, alright? It's, people do that and it's just, there's no point, it's not funny. So yes, I'd just like to get that out of the way. Right, but let's get on to actually looking at the figures. So I will first of all start you off with a bit of background for these. Now, for those who are interested, or those that don't know where the Time Crash set comes from, these sets were released in 2008 at the San Diego Comic-Con, based on the Time Crash Children in Need mini episode, or was it Children in Need, possibly Comic Relief? Either way, it was released. It was released as part of a charity mini episode, Time Crash, which is hilarious. I believe it's on the Series 3 or Series 4 DVDs. If not, I'm sure it's available online somewhere. I would thoroughly recommend going and watching it. It's a brilliant little episode and a great meet between the classic series and the new series. The first time that a classic Doctor's interacted properly with a new series Doctor. But they released these sets. These two sets, the ones on the ends, were released at San Diego Comic-Con 2008, and they were limited to 3,000. Now these are number, sorry, I have to lean in to look, 0136 of 3,000, and this is 1908 of 3,000. And they are worth a lot of money. They're very difficult to get hold of these days. However, they also released this middle one, because as you might have noticed, the ones on the ends have a top trumps card in the back of them. Now this one doesn't, and that's because this was released in the UK, and it was limited to only 100. There are only 100 of these sets without the top trumps card. Some people make a point of saying, oh, they did produce more, or they produced them out of the box, or they produced them this. They didn't. The only time these sets were released in the UK was in 2008. They produced them without the top trumps card, and there is only 100 of these. If you have one of these in the box without a top trumps card, keep it incredibly safe, because that is only one of 100 of that particular release in the entire world. Obviously, as I said, there are 3,000 Comic-Con releases, but without a top trumps card, they were only available in the UK, and they are limited to 100 of them. If you opened your top trumps card one, then if you opened your UK100 one, then that's probably quite a big mistake. But yes, so for those interested, that is the difference between these ones. Is overall, I'll get onto the boxes in a minute, but that is the main difference between these three. Is these two at the back are Comic-Con, this is the UK100. I will come back to the front ones in a minute. But now I'm going to just quickly move on to why I've got so many of them. You see, firstly, I just wanted one of these sets as part of my collection because I looked at it as an investment, and I accepted very quickly that I was never going to get my hands on one of the UK100s, because by the time I decided I wanted one of these, it was, I think, about 2012, 2013, and the UK100s were long since gone out of stock, out of shops, and they were fetching upwards of 250 upwards on eBay, so it was near impossible to get hold of them. They're just so difficult. So I was lucky enough to be able to get this one, which was the first one I got, and that was the San Diego Comic-Con one. I was very pleased to have that because it wasn't the UK100, but I got it as part of my collection. I was very pleased to have gotten it because it represented quite a sort of collector's piece. And then a couple of years ago, in fact I believe, no, it would have been a couple of years ago, it wasn't last year, a couple of years ago, I was doing my usual search on eBay, which I was doing daily, and I still do daily searches on eBay for things. But since I got this one, I was doing daily searches on eBay to try and find a UK100 one for a decent price. And the few times they did crop up, they were incredibly expensive. But as luck would have it, one of them cropped up on eBay, and it was only £70, the UK100 at £70. So of course, like a flash, I ordered it. However, when it arrived, this one turned up with the top trumps card. It was another Comic-Con one, and to be fair, the seller the seller that sold it to me genuinely didn't know the mistake. What they had done is they had gotten a picture from Google Images of the set, of the UK100 set, and they put it up using that as a description for it. They genuinely didn't know there was a difference between the two sets. I explained it, and they very generously refunded me at least a third of what I'd originally paid. In fact, it might have been half. They were very generous with their refund anyway. So I ended up getting the two. Comic-Con sets. So again, I just sort of decided that I was going to keep looking for the UK100, but again, not holding out much hope. And I genuinely considered unboxing one of these two Comic-Con ones, because I like to have them, I like to have my figures, particularly my rare ones, I like to collect one kept in its box, and if I can find another one that's already loose, I will have that one loose. And so what actually happened is I ended up finding, about 4 or 5 weeks later, a 10th Doctor from the Time Crash set loose, and then a couple of weeks after that, a 5th Doctor from the Time Crash set loose. And I was like, great, now I've got them out of the box. And it was kind of like at that point I thought, you know what, I'm gonna keep looking at the Time Crash for the UK100s, but I've got 2 in their boxes. I've got 2 out of there. I've got 2 in their boxes. I've got a set out of its box. As much as it would be nice to have the UK100, I don't think it's ever going to happen. And so you know, I'll look occasionally. I'll look occasionally, but I'm happy now. I've got those. The next day, I went on to eBay and I just thought, just out of curiosity, let's have a look for a UK100, and bam, there it was for let's just say it was a triple figure, less than £500. I'm not going to say exactly how much it was, but it wasn't cheap. But there it was, UK100 sealed in its box, authorised by the seller. It had all of their a little slip of paper with their name and a current date of when they posted it. It was all genuine, and I was like, I can't not pass this up. So I was lucky enough to be able to get hold of the funds for it, and here it is, the UK100, and I genuinely never thought I'd get hold of one. It is, having done the research, obviously there are quite a few rare Doctor Who figures that people want to get hold of. For example, actual release figures. We're not talking prototypes here, we're talking actual released figures. For example, the Amelia Pond Doctor Who Experience exclusive figure. That is one of the most rare figures. However, generally, the one that seems to be the top of most people's rare figure lists is the UK100, because there are only 100 of them. They are incredibly rare and hard to get hold of, and so now to have one in my collection is just... I really never thought it was going to happen, and so to have not only the UK100 but 2 of the Comic-Con ones as well, and them out of the box, is just quite staggering. I'm insanely happy to have them. And so it was just the irony that I'd given up on getting the Comic-Con one, given up on getting the UK100, and then suddenly I'd managed to get it. So that is the background on how I managed to get hold of all of these. But now I am going to move on to actually looking at the figures and the boxes. So we're going to start off with the boxes. Now, the only difference, I will take one of these Comic-Con ones out because there literally is no difference really between the boxes of the two, apart from a couple of little things, because the UK100 has the Comic-Con stamp at the top, but it doesn't have the warning label, which the Comic-Con one does. Here we go, you can see it better like that. And it also, the Comic-Con one has a Top Trumps thing in there. It's also got the sticker and the Top Trumps card in it. And if we turn them round and look at the back, I believe there isn't actually really any differences on the back. I thought, I don't think it's on this one. No, it's not on this one either. I thought they might have had a holographic sticker on the back as well for to show the actual Comic-Con ones, but the holographic stickers on the inside. So box-wise, there's really not any. There's not really any differences on the back. The differences are all on the front, but they're very nice boxes. I love the fact that they fit in with all of the sort of the standard Doctor Who boxes of the time. But next up, we're going to have a look at get a bit of a close-up on the actual figures themselves. So here we have the figures that come in this box set. Now, they're actually just fairly standard figures themselves. They haven't got any sort of exclusive molds and things like that, but they do feature some little exclusive bits. Obviously, both of them come with their sonic screwdrivers. If we start with the 10th Doctor, it's obviously 10th Doctor in the blue suit. However, he has a exclusively painted dark burgundy shirt and tie. Now, with only a couple of other exceptions, the majority of 10th Doctor figures all have the standard blue shirt. The only known variants that I'm aware of, other than this one, that feature a different coloured shirt are the Last of the Time Lords elderly 10th Doctor, which features a dark blue shirt and brown tie. And the 10th Doctor featured in the 13 Doctors box set, I believe, features a white shirt with a dark tie. Other than that, all the others tend to be of the bluish hue, although I do believe there were some minor variations. Some people have claimed they've had minor variations in tones of blue and things like that in the standard figures. When you look at the standard 10th Doctor figures, you might think that the light blue on the shirt is slightly more white than it is blue, but that is just a paint variation. I'm afraid there aren't any other actual exclusive colour differences. So if you do have a 10th Doctor figure, a standard 10th Doctor figure with a different coloured shirt, it's either been customised or it is just a random paint variation. It's not an exclusive, which means it won't be worth anything. I apologise if some people are sitting there thinking, oh, I've got this 10th Doctor from Series 2 and he's got a white shirt. Probably just a paint variation. I apologise if that burst the bubble of some people. But it's certainly nice to see this this different coloured shirt in this. And I do have to wonder, when I saw this, I saw pictures of this, and I saw also the variants that they did with the elderly Doctor in Series 3. It really did make me think why we didn't see this more, because it's not like the 10th Doctor didn't have different coloured shirts over the years, and it wouldn't have been difficult for them to repaint them a slightly different tone. It's a real shame. But if Character Options do re-release more 10th Doctor figures in future, I think just repainting the shirts would be shirts and ties would be a fantastic way to come up with a new sort of variant release. For example, I know for a fact one of the ones that I have made that you will see as part of the Doctor is In series is I've made the 10th Doctor from the library, the Series 4 episode, Forest of the Dead and Silence in the Library. And what I've done for that is I've made a few other variations, but one of the things I've done is I've taken a blue suited 10th Doctor and I have just repainted the shirt a dark purple and the tie a dark burgundy, and it really does make a fantastic difference. It really does look great, and it's just a shame that that was a variant we never got to see in Series 4. You know, as part of the Series 4 wave, they released 10th Doctors as part of Series 4 in the blue suit with his glasses and everything like that, and it's just a shame that they never did that. I think that would have been a great it would have been a great variant to see, and certainly one that I think would have gone down very well with the fans, because it would have been so simple to do. Moving on to the 5th Doctor. The 5th Doctor figure is very nice. Again, it's a standard 5th Doctor figure, but the difference is we have a slightly new pattern on the jumper, and the trousers have a completely new pattern as well, that isn't seen on any of the other previous 5th Doctor releases. The only variants of the 5th Doctor's trousers that we've seen is we have had the standard version of the standard 5th Doctor trousers. There has been the Revelation of the Daleks, what I call the Revelation of the Daleks variant, which are much more sort of pink in colour. There's then been the 13 Doctors box set variant, and there has been this variant. So it's nice to have this variant as part of this set. At the time of recording, not a few months back, we had the release of the 4th Doctor and TARDIS B&M set, and at the time of recording, it is still rumoured. It has not been confirmed or anything like that, but it is still rumoured that the next set we will be getting will be a 5th Doctor set. There has been a supposedly leaked image of a 5th Doctor TARDIS, a War Doctor TARDIS, and a 4th Doctor TARDIS, but many people, myself included, doubt the authenticity of that. But the general rumour is that the next one we get will be a 5th Doctor TARDIS, and so I think that there is a high chance that if we get we will get a 5th Doctor figure with that set. I think there's a high chance that we will probably end up getting either a re-release of the hatted Revelation of the Daleks variant, or we will get a re-release of this variant, possibly a hatted variant on this, I don't know, but that's my gut feeling, is in that as this figure has only ever had its release in the Time Crash set, I think it's very likely that we are probably going to see this, or at least my thoughts are that this is probably the one they're going to release as part of a 5th Doctor and TARDIS set, but we shall see. For all we know, we may not even get a 5th Doctor and TARDIS set. As I said, it's just a rumour. But that is the figures here. Now, the only things that I think I would have done differently if it was me with these figures, and again, I appreciate that, you know, this is my personal preference, but I think it would have either been nice to have had, well, I was about to say it would have been nice to have the End of Time head sculpt on the with the glasses on the 10th Doctor, but obviously at the time this was released in 2008, that head sculpt didn't exist. So I think having a version of him with the glasses would have been nice. 10th Doctor with the glasses, and possibly, and I actually, surprisingly, for me for once, I have one here, somewhere, here we are, to have possibly had a hatted 5th Doctor head on this figure would have been nice. Some of you may remember I did a custom Time Crash set. This was before I'd actually managed to get hold of so many of them. I did a custom Time Crash set with a hatted 5th Doctor head. This might have in fact been the very one I used, which would have been very nice to have seen as part of that set. Alternatively, and far more unlikely, would have been to have seen an aged 5th Doctor, because obviously in Time Crash, spoiler alert, he does appear aged. There is a reason for that in the plot, but it certainly would have been nice to see an aged 5th Doctor. But you never know. Maybe one day someone's going to do a aged 5th Doctor. Sorry, what? No, I have no idea what you're talking about. What happened? I missed it. But that brings to a close another What I Think review. As always, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like, favorite, subscribe, share, it really helps me out a lot, and be sure to check out the description below for a link to my Patreon. I'm doing my very first figure animation, and you can get involved. There's exclusive content and rewards for those who do so, and funding my Patreon in any way gets your name at the end of my videos. I salute you all, and I will see you with another video very soon.